Did you know that shouting the word no at your cat is completely meaningless to their instinctual predator brain? Most owners believe their cat is ignoring them out of spite, but the reality is actually a simple translation error. There is a specific biological reason why your cat stares at you blankly when you yell, and it is not rebellion. You are likely making a fundamental mistake in communication that is accidentally encouraging the bad behavior. To truly get your cat to stop doing something, you must stop thinking like a primate and start thinking like a feline. We are going to explore the scientific method of setting boundaries that actually works without breaking your bond. The first thing you must understand is that cats do not possess the cognitive part of the brain that processes guilt. When they look guilty with their ears back, they are simply reacting to your angry tone and body language in fear. This brings us to the most critical rule of cat discipline, which is the absolute necessity of immediate timing. If you scold your cat even 2 minutes after they scratch the sofa, they will not connect the punishment to the act. They will simply think you are being aggressive for no reason, which creates anxiety and distrust in your relationship. To say no effectively, you must catch them in the exact moment they are thinking about committing the crime. The moment you see them winding up to jump on the counter is the only window of opportunity you have to intervene. Instead of using your human words, you should use a sound that mimics the warning signals of nature and other animals. A sharp, short hiss or a loud clapping sound interrupts their thought process and snaps them out of the fixation. This technique is called a pattern interrupt, and it stops the behavior without you having to be physically aggressive. However, simply stopping the behavior is not enough because that energy needs to be released somewhere else, quickly. This is where the concept of redirection comes in, and it is the missing key for 90% of frustrated owners. You cannot just tell a cat what not to do, you must immediately show them what they should be doing instead of that. If you tell them no for scratching the chair, you must immediately carry them to the scratching post and praise them. This creates a positive loop in their brain where they learn that the post equals praise, while the chair equals noise. But what happens when you are not home to police their behavior and catch them in the act of being naughty? This is where environmental deterrents become your best friend, acting as a silent guardian when you are away. Cats are extremely sensitive to textures, so placing double-sided tape on the counter makes the surface feel gross. They will jump up, feel the sticky tape on their paws, and immediately jump down without you ever saying a word. This is powerful because the environment is punishing them, not you, so their bond with you remains completely intact. Another effective deterrent is the use of aluminum foil, as the sound and feel are unpleasant to their sensitive paws. You can also use scent deterrents, like citrus sprays on furniture, as cats naturally find these smells overwhelming. Now we must address the issue of biting and aggressive play, which is often a result of improper training as a kitten. Never use your hands as toys, because this teaches your cat that human skin is a target for their teeth and claws. If your cat bites you during play, the most effective way to say no is to immediately go completely dead and silent. Any reaction, even pushing them away or yelling "ouch," can be interpreted by a cat as part of a rough wrestling game. By freezing and then walking away, you are using the most severe punishment possible, which is the withdrawal of attention. Cats are social creatures who crave interaction, so realizing that biting causes the fun to stop is a powerful lesson. Consistency is the glue that holds all of this training together, and without it, your cat will never learn the rules. If you let them on the table on Sunday, but yell at them on Monday, you are creating a confused and anxious animal. Everyone in your household must follow the exact same rules, or your cat will simply learn to exploit the weak link. We also need to talk about the tone of your voice, because high-pitched screaming only sounds like prey in distress. When you need to give a verbal command, Use a low, firm, and authoritative tone that commands respect and attention. Do not use their name when you are correcting them, because you do not want them to associate their name with trouble. Save their name for mealtimes and cuddles, and use a generic word like off or stop for the negative interactions. Another common mistake is picking the cat up to move them, which can sometimes be seen as a reward or a fun game. If they jump on the counter, gently guide them down without cuddling them or making eye contact to keep it neutral. The goal is to make the forbidden activity boring and unrewarding, rather than a dramatic event that gets attention. You might be surprised to learn that boredom is actually the root cause of many destructive behaviors in indoor cats. A cat that knocks things off the shelf is often just conducting a physics experiment to see if you will come running. If you provide enough enrichment and playtime, they will have less mental energy to dedicate to destroying your house. Puzzle feeders are an excellent way to keep their minds busy and focused on a constructive task instead of trouble. Now, let us discuss the specific problem of cats scratching closed doors at night, which drives many owners crazy. Opening the door even once to yell at them teaches them that scratching is the key that unlocks the door to you. You must be stronger than their persistence and completely ignore the behavior until they realize it does not work. You can also place a motion-activated air puffer by the door to deliver a harmless burst of air that startles them. This keeps the boundary firm without you having to get out of bed and reinforce the bad behavior with your presence. Sometimes, telling a cat no is about managing resources, especially in a household with multiple cats and tension. Aggression often stems from a scarcity mindset, so ensure you have enough litter boxes and vertical territory for all. If you catch your cats fighting, do not reach in with your hands, but use a blanket or a loud noise to separate them. Reintroducing them slowly is the only way to reset their relationship and stop the cycle of violence and stress. It is important to remember that physical punishment is never an option and will only make your cat afraid of you. Hitting a cat or using a spray bottle creates fear and can lead to defensive aggression that is dangerous for you. You want your cat to respect the boundary, not to live in terror of the giant human who provides their food. Positive reinforcement is always more powerful than negative punishment in the long term for any animal training. When you see your cat sleeping on their own bed, instead of the laundry, give them a treat and tell them they are good. Rewarding the behavior you want to see will eventually crowd out the behavior you are trying to eliminate completely. This is called the substitution method, and it changes the wiring in their brain to prefer the authorized activity. Understanding the body language of your cat will also help you predict when they are about to cross the line. Dilated pupils, a swishing tail, and flattened ears are all warning signs that they are in a high arousal state. Intervening at this stage with a toy or a distraction can prevent the bad behavior before it even happens effectively. This proactive approach is much less stressful for both of you than reacting after the vase has already been broken. Remember that some breeds, like Bengals or Siamese, are naturally more vocal and active, requiring more patience. Their intelligence means they will test your boundaries more frequently just to see if the rules have changed today. You must be as stubborn as they are, maintaining your calm leadership without giving in to their adorable demands. There is a profound difference between a disciplined cat and a suppressed cat, and you should aim for the former. A disciplined cat knows the rules and feels safe within them, while a suppressed cat is anxious and fearful of action. Your goal is to build a language of mutual respect where your cat understands that no means safety, not danger. It takes time to undo bad habits, especially if your cat has been allowed to rule the house for many years prior. Do not get discouraged if they relapse, as extinction bursts are a normal part of the learning process for mammals. An extinction burst is when the behavior gets worse just before it stops, because they are trying one last time. If you can push through that difficult phase, you will find peace and a well-behaved companion on the other side. Start with one rule at a time, rather than trying to overhaul their entire life in a single day of strict training. Focus on the safety issues first, like the stove or wires, before worrying about minor annoyances like the curtains. You can cover electrical cords with plastic protectors to make them unappealing to chew without saying a word. This is another example of management which is often easier and more effective than active training for safety. Ultimately, the way you say no defines the hierarchy and the emotional tone of your entire household environment. If you are constantly stressed and yelling, your cat will absorb that energy and become stressed and reactive too. Approaching discipline with a calm, scientific mindset removes the emotion and makes the message clear to them. Your cat wants to please you, but they need you to explain the rules in a way that fits their evolutionary logic. They are not small humans in fur coats. They are sophisticated predators who need clarity, consistency, and love. By using these techniques, you are not just stopping bad behavior, you are communicating clearly across species. The result is a harmonious home where your cat feels secure because they know exactly what is expected of them. The secret to a well-behaved cat is not dominance, but a partnership based on clear communication and respect. If you want to master even more psychological tricks to bond with your cat, you need to see what we cover next. Click the subscribe button right now to learn the hidden secrets of feline psychology that every owner needs.